Congratulations to Peyton Manning, all kidding aside. 39 years old. I said 37 last week. 39 years old, oldest man to ever start as quarterback in the Super Bowl. And he led the Broncos to a victory over the Panthers. Let's just talk for a moment about the halftime entertainment. Most of you, demographically, most of you probably watched the show, the Super Bowl. And then Coldplay came out, which was entertaining, and Bruno Mars, who's a great dancer, that was fun. And then out comes Beyonce. And at that point, we had to make our screen go dark because the boys are in the room. But it stunned me. It actually stunned me because it was so, I have to choose my words carefully, but you had these women who were dancing like they were in, like they were prostitutes or in a strip club or something. And they're all African American. In other words, what stereotype does Beyonce want to have? I just literally don't get it. Are you asking for people to disrespect you? Are you asking for people to have these kind of images in their mind, the subliminal message about women and black women in particular? I mean, think about it. Am I crazy? Am I crazy? Is it me? I'm not. Do you? Billy Bob says no. Bobby Sue. I'm not nuts. Maybe I am nuts. Anyway, I was dumbfounded. I really was dumb. What was the point? What's the point of that? With 100 million viewers and so many small children watching, so many kids, what is the message? It's not the same country, people. It's just not the same country anymore. Not the one that I grew up in. And it's getting worse. It is getting worse. Jesus said, you're the salt of the world, the salt of the earth. And if the salt has lost its savor, it is henceforth good for nothing except to be thrown into the street and trampled underfoot of men. We, the church, the Christian community, our values are being trampled in the street, underfoot of men, because I believe we are the salt that has lost its savor. But I digress. Anyway, so much for the halftime of the Super Bowl. So much for bread and circuses. Let's talk about, speaking of it not being the same country, I've got to set this clip up for you. I want to play a clip that was put together by the Huffington Post from Marco Rubio at the debate. Now, if you watched the debate on Saturday night, ABC hosted it, and it was, vintage. Some of their questions were just pathetic. But Marco Rubio almost went out of his way to embarrass himself. And if you didn't see it, this probably will make sense, because that's why I want to set it up. But he has this speech that he always gives that Obama knows what he's doing, okay? And in the debate, it kept coming up over and over, and Chris Christie mocked him and said, Marco, you say the same thing all the time. And then Rubio went on to say it again. I was shocked. I was dumbfounded. I was embarrassed for Rubio. I got to play the clip, and there's a reason. Watch the clip.
I will say, if politics becomes, and the presidency becomes about electing the people who have been in Congress or in the Senate the longest, we should all rally around Joe Biden. He's been around 1,000 years. He's passed hundreds of bills, and I don't think any of us believe Joe Biden should be president of the United States. And let's dispel once and for all with this fiction that Barack Obama doesn't know what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. Barack Obama is undertaking a systematic effort to change this country, to make America more like the rest of the world. That's why he passed Obamacare and the stimulus and Dodd-Frank and a deal with Iran. It is a systematic effort to change America. When I'm president of the United States, we are going to re-embrace all the things that made America the greatest nation in the world, and we are going to leave our children what they deserve, the single greatest nation in the history of the world. The experience is not just what you did, but how it worked out. Under Chris Christie's governorship of New Jersey, they've been downgraded 9 times in their credit rating. Chris, your state got hit by a massive snowstorm 2 weeks ago. You didn't even want to go back. They had to shame you into going back. And then you stayed there for 36 hours, and then he left and came back to campaign. See, those are the facts. Here's the bottom line. This notion that Barack Obama doesn't know what he's doing is just not true.
There it is.
He knows exactly what he's doing.
The memorized 25-second speech.
Well, that's the reason why this campaign This notion, I think this is an important point. We have to understand what we're going through here. We are not facing a president that doesn't know what he's doing. He knows what he is doing. That's why he's done the things he's done. That's why we have a president that passed Obamacare and the stimulus. All this damage he's done to America is deliberate. This is a president that's trying to redefine this country. That's why this election is truly a referendum on our identity as a nation, as a people. Our future is at stake. This election is not about the past. It is about what kind of country this is going to be in the 21st century. And if we elect someone like Barack Obama, a Hillary Clinton, a Bernie Sanders, or anyone like that, our children are going to be the first Americans to inherit a diminished country. That will not happen if I'm
All right, so there you have it. He actually hurt himself. He hurt himself badly. Newspapers, talk shows on Sunday, and now again today on Monday are just beating him senseless because it sounded like he couldn't say anything else on his feet. I mean, really and truly, this is a memorized line. There were a lot of people that were hoping that Rubio was going to do really well in New Hampshire and maybe be able to overtake Trump for the lead. Not with that performance. That's going to hurt him. It's going to haunt him. Speaking of being haunted, Madeleine Albright and another woman could be a big problem for Hillary. We'll talk about it when I come back.